But I'm a realist, okay? If this vehicle is not gonna be right for you to do business, then don't choose this type of vehicle. Now, if you do choose the T1Ns or the 3.0 or even the 4-cylinder, chances are you're gonna find videos how to fix it on my channel. You know, if you're gonna choose Ford, maybe eventually I'll have those type of videos, because this is the kind of things that I do. I buy stuff, I fix it, and I put the videos out there for you. But currently my channel is the biggest source on YouTube for Sprinter repair type of videos, and apparently one of the biggest ones for Expedite as well, because I noticed a lot of people that do Expediting videos, they're not consistent. They do good videos, but they kind of like, you know, they do them and then they're gone, because it's not easy, guys, to maintain a channel and have consistent content. Because think about it, I've been producing content every single day for the past 3 years. I've deleted a lot of videos. This is why you're only gonna see a little bit over 700 videos on my channel, but that's because I deleted a lot of them, because I used to suck at it, and I probably still am, but I'm trying to improve my video quality. And this being my 3rd year now, over 2 million views now. Like, I think I have like 2,250,000 views, more than 100,000, I think between 100 and 150,000 views per month, close to between 8 and 10,000 views every 48 hours. So if you can think about that, that's a lot of emails, that's a lot of, you know, questions, phone numbers. I literally have a big list, but this video is not about that. But guys, going forward, okay, when you choose any kind of van that you choose and you're gonna have payments on it, here's what you're gonna have to deal with. Firstly, your payment for the Sprinter and your insurance, you're gonna need to work about 1 week. Why is that? Because I've seen people pay for their vans anywhere from $700 to $900 per month, and that's including ProMasters, guys. Like, I seen a guy with a ProMaster $900 payments every single month, because his credit history, because he was shopping around, and all these dealers, they run his history too much and making it like hard hits on his credit, so it messed up his payment, you know, because he was having all these hits. But he had like a 700 point credit score, and they ruined it like to, I think, like 600 plus, a little bit more. But so $900, because due to the interest rate. So I've seen a lot of people that have a $700 payment on the Ford Transits. Now, that being said, insurance is now, here's what I've noticed. Some people are paying around $7,000 a year for the insurance, basically for the same type of insurance, and some people are paying as much as $15,000 to $18,000 for that same insurance from the same company per year. So that means, according to which city and state you live, what kind of credit history you have, because that impacts it, what kind of driving record you have, because that impacts it, and if you have a brand new van or an old van, that impacts your credit, because how much you need to cover. I mean, that impacts your payment. So this means, give or take, some people paying about $700 a month for their insurance, and some are paying like $1,500. So you add a payment into that of $700, $800. Now you're between, you know, $2,000 and $2,500 that you need to pay just to have your van and insurance. So that means you're gonna need to work a whole full week, make 100% profit of that, fuel not included, right? In order to actually make that happen. I guess just do the math. So let's move on. So the next week you're gonna deal with it with fuel, because here's what I noticed, guys. Depending on how often you drive, your fuel cost is going to be between $1,500 to $2,500 per month. Now, mine's about $2,500 a month, even though I have an economical vehicle. And that's because when I get out there, guys, I put like 15,000 miles on my Sprinter in a single month. That is if I actually want to work. You know, when I choose to work less, I still do like about 10,000 miles every 3 weeks. So that's easy 120,000 miles in a year. This is also something to think about. When you get a 100,000 mile warranty on a new van, whatever you choose, your warranty is going to expire in less than a year, you know. And after warranty expires, that's when problems starts happening, and before you know it, you now have a van payment, maintenance, and then mechanical issues that you got to fix out of your own pocket. So take that into my goodness, wow, I'm getting tongue-tied, into consideration, because you're also gonna have that expensive insurance, you know, that coverage. And then guys, if you do decide to get a new van, I don't care what kind of van you get, please get gap insurance, guys. I know it's gonna seem like a hassle to pay that dealer extra fee. Guys, it's way worth it. One of my buddies just flipped his van, and he's been working hard on it for 2 years, making $900 payments, and he flipped his van over, so basically totaled it, and he still had to pay $9,000 for the van after the insurance, you know, paid off whatever they paid off, because they're not going to pay the full amount of what you cover for. I don't care if you cover up for $40,000, they're only going to cover what they think the van is worth. That's where Gap comes in, and Gap, you know, it covers you. But guys, as far as insurance, please shop around, because I know people are asking me, hey, do you know what insurance is like in my state or in that state? Guys, no, because I don't check about those things, and every insurance is going to be different, you know. So you need to make those phone calls, choose the best policy possible, you know, to get yourself on the road. But anyways, let's continue. So the very first week, you're basically working for van payment and insurance payment. The next week, you're working for the fuel payment. So now you got 2 weeks. They're both nearing $5,000 in expenses. And then the next week comes up, the third week. Now you got to pay rent out of that. You got to pay your, I don't know, if you have like another car, personal car, you're going to have to pay that insurance. If you have a cell phone plan, you're going to need to pay that. If you have internet, cable TV, did I say rent? I guess if I did, then utilities, okay, that is that. So that's another week that covers all that. Then the fourth week, because you're pretty much a slave at this point, the fourth week is going to be for anything fun that you want to have, any kind of toys you want to buy for yourself, like new cell phones, computers, you know, travel somewhere, you know, vacation, you know, that again. So that when you look at all that, making all this money with the Sprinter between $5,000 and $7,000 a month, because that's typical what they're making. We're making about $10,000 a month, but then you take expense out of that, you know, so because it's gross. Take all the payments, take all the stuff out of it, and what are you left with? I mean, chances are we're probably left with like $3 to $4 grand if, you know, we're lucky, right? It all depends on everybody's living situation, because somebody's living above their means, somebody's living below their means. Somebody like me, I live below my means, and I don't have any payments. So I don't have no rent payment, no Sprinter payment, no mechanic payment. I don't have to buy any parts. I'm taking off my vans and fixing. So I'm gonna be better off. Like, I could literally go out there and work 2 weeks out of the month, and I'll be really good. Like, I'm gonna have money for everything, and I do, you know. So guys, I mean, I hope you take all these things into account, because everything I talked in this video is super very important, because choosing your van literally will either make you or break you. Because I talked to one guy just recently, and he says, man, what a bad choice that I made. He bought a Ford Transit, loves the van. He said, poor decision, because after he bought it, his insurance went up. Now he's got a van payment, and his wife got sick, and it's like he's got to miss time because he wants to be with his wife. He can't work, but he's got all these payments, and he's got, you know, kids and stuff. Guys, it's really difficult, and it breaks my heart to see these type of situations. Like, I'm thinking, these people literally work harder than I do, you know, driving the van, and they don't have nearly the money that I have, because they're always spending it on everything. It just becomes really crazy. So you have to really think for yourself and avoid getting into debt, guys, at any cost. Now, I would favor getting into debt. Let's say you're a single person, you're like 25 years old, and you're like, hey, heck, I would be rather driving out there, living in my van, saving up the money, and I don't need to pay no rent, I don't have no other expenses. Then yeah, go for it. Buy yourself a new van, drive all over the country. You don't have to come home. You know, you could come home maybe like once a month, you know, to your parents, you know, because I mean, you would not have a place to live technically. Then yeah, you could make it. You could do really good. And I have a buddy of mine that does just that. He's not married right now. He's like, I think he's like 27 years old, and he does really well. He's really successful. Every single year, he's able to save up some money, and he's able to travel. He's able to do the fun things in life. So, and that's because he got a van payment, insurance payment, fuel payment, you know, stuff like that. He services his own van because now it's out of warranty, and he's the one that got a 4-cylinder. Granted, the 4 cylinders, they're already saving him about $700 a month, you know, with all the driving he does, because he drives a lot, like me, and that means like he doesn't have a van payment. You know what I mean? Because that kind of like cancels it out. Also, guys, it's very important where you're gonna fuel up. I mean, I'm not gonna say nickel and dime every single gas station, but if you're gonna be fueling up 20 gallons, you know, because the Sprinters have like 26.5 gallon tank. If you're gonna be filling up like 20 gallons, saving 10 cents, you know, a gallon, that's like $2 you save right there, just one fuel up. Now, that's considerably less than what I save. Guys, I literally sometimes save like 35 cents per gallon because I fuel up across the street. Like, I look at a Pilot and it'll be like, I don't know, let's say $2.30, and then you look at the other gas station, it's like $2. It's like a no-brainer. I literally make like $6 for that fuel up. So then when you think about it, I'm gonna fuel up about two times that day because I'm gonna be driving 24/7. I'm gonna save 12 bucks. So now that covered my food cost. Well, yeah, guys, food cost is very important. It could easily cost you $3,000 a year, and this is if you're not fine dining. This is if you're just eating fast food. And I'm also going to get into eating healthy on the road. A buddy of mine, he's actually like a weightlifter. Like he's basically what you call a master of sport. This guy, he's eating for the fast food type of money because he's cooking it himself, and he's fine dining. He's eating steaks, he's eating meat and potatoes, he's eating like salmon, you know, and he's spending literally the same money that you would spend on fast food for every day, because he's got one of those, like, I actually bought one recently too. I forgot what it's called, but it's like, I think it's like a steam cooker or something. He just does the cooking himself, you know, and it's fast. It tastes good. It's delicious. I mean, he's really loving it. But anyways, guys, I don't know if I answered how to choose your own van, but I did answer why you should, you know, basically like the why and the hows, which I think are more important, because when it comes to choosing a van, I mean, if you're going to be choosing a used one, there's certain things you got to look for. I mean, me personally, I don't even care. Like, I buy vans that are in bad shape, and I save a lot of money on them. And when I do, I then decide to fix that thing if it's fixable, or to use it for parts. Because if I pay like $2,000 for a van that's non-running, that's a lot of parts that I could use for mine and save me literally thousands of dollars. And before you know it, I have another van sitting, you know. That's why I have like 7 Sprinters right now. I mean, I'm already kind of like forgetting how many I have. I'm not gonna do the count right now. Plus I have a box truck, but totally 12 cars right now. So I'm definitely in a good position of saving money when it comes to parts, because even regular cars, that's the way I fix them. I buy another one and I use those parts to fix the other car, and then I have more parts left over. So all around, I'm all about saving money. And when you save money, let's say like you save money on rent, that means, I mean, that money, you keep it in your pocket, you know, and you could invest it into your own home, into modifications, beautifications, and that's what I've been doing for the past 3 years. Sure, it's been a little bit slow for me to fix up my own home, because I had to invest about like $40,000 into it by now, but that's like having $1,100 rent, and I had friends that was paying a lot more every single month. So 3 years go by quick, and so I worked normal. I wasn't really making that much more than anybody else. That's why it's taking a little bit slow to fix, because the money that I do save, because I don't pay rent, it goes back into the home. And it still needs work. It's probably gonna take another year, you know, to get it where I want it to be. But that's at best. That's if I focus on it. But I just try to work normally, guys, not to try to overwork myself, because it's important for me to be with my family in order to be able to, you know, just enjoy life. Because you can't really put money first, especially when it comes to this type of business, because if you put money first and you have all these obligations, you're never going to be home if you have a family. And my answer to you guys is like, don't leave a truck, or get into the trucking. It will be better, because the insurance for the trucks, I mean, we are basically paying that same trucking commercial insurance, which is $1 million liability, $100,000 cargo. So you're better off either becoming a driver for a company, because shoot, they're paying more than 40 cents. I mean, some are paying like 60 cents a mile for trucks. They keep you a lot busier. You do get to sleep, which is awesome, because you don't get to sleep with a Sprinter. You basically, or with any type of van, you just basically go, go, go. It's a hot shot, but they're not paying the hot shot prices anymore. And even worse than that, some companies are willing to pay you 50 to 60 cents to do some deliveries. Some even trying to offer a lot less. Why would you pay that when you have all those obligations for your, type of vehicle? If you could make clear money with the summer truck, not having to pay none of those things just by working for a company, that's something to think about, guys. Also, getting into dump trucks, that's something to think about, guys. Those guys make really good money even working for somebody else on a dump truck. And at this point, with the way the Sprinter income is coming in and all these expenses, at this point, it's almost like anything else could be better, any other business. Because if you think about it, like, let's say like you're mechanically inclined and you're trying to like fix cars or whatever. I mean, you rent a shop for about $700. Literally, you can. And, get yourself a lift for about a couple grand. And then just pay your utilities, that's it, and start having work coming in. And even if you're not staying busy, you can still pay that shop fee, whatever, and you're gonna be home every day. And basically, that could be a choice for somebody. Or you could actually focus on a trade and become a professional. Maybe go do flooring, go do plumbing, go do electrical, or HVAC type of systems or whatever. You're gonna be home, you're gonna be making the money, and you can actually use this van for that. So, for those situations, especially the used van, it's just fine. But anyways, guys, here's what I'm gonna leave you with, because this video is kind of too long. What I would do, and I am doing it, and I'm speaking from my own experience, because I've already seen both sides of the story, having a new van and having a used one. Guys, I'm doing way better off with a used van than I ever did with a new van, and a lot less headaches too, because I don't have to worry about that payment next month. If I break down, if I spend a week to 2 weeks fixing it, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't cost me anything. If you break down and you still got a payment going on, sometimes shops will take a month. I've seen guys sit there a month in the shop, with their van, and they still got a payment coming in, and they're not making any money. So something to think about, guys. If ever possible, buy yourself a used van. Even if you got to finance it. I mean, I don't know, as long as it's not that expensive, like $5,000-6,000, or go on auction, try to buy it there, Craigslist, truck paper, look up on eBay. I mean, most likely you're going to be getting a van with problems, but it is what it is. I mean, these things have a lot of miles, and chances are you're going to have to fix a lot of stuff, but at least it's yours. You know what I mean? But anyways, guys, take care of yourself. God bless you. Stay safe out there.
My name is Serge Zimaleta. I'm 37 years old, and yes, I experienced success after buying my first home for cash. Back in 2011, I was broke, but I learned to solve problems on my own. Now, I'm helping others to solve their problems. I know what pitfalls to avoid to stay profitable in business. Need motivation to be more successful in your life? Do you have Sprinter, Expedite, or business problems? Then subscribe. Let's find creative solutions to your problems. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my helpful videos.